So welcome to today's update video, and first off, I want to mention, this is the remnant low of Tropical Storm Kevin. That was downgraded to a depression early this morning, then a few hours later, declared a post-tropical remnant low at 15C today. And then, the more important story now is, further to the south, is Hurricane Linda. And now, maximum sustained winds have now increased according to the latest advice from the National Hurricane Center at 65 knots or 75 miles per hour. Minimum central pressure of 980 millibars. It's located at 15.3 degrees north, 108.7 west. It's moving west-northwest around 8 knots to 9 miles per hour. Wind does had some intercore issues, issues at least getting intercore towers. We don't have any recent microwave passes unless no, look right now. Look later, but unless any have come in the last hour or so. But you see some of that deeper convection he's trying to wrap around, and you can see the hints of the storm actually developing an eye. See the storm hints. You can see the upper level alpha. You can see the storm is more CDO dominant than yesterday. You can see it shed quite a bit, some of its bands. And you can see the upper-level alpha is not as restrictive as it is to north. You can probably, it's like an upcoming day is actually likely to be enhanced by an upper trough over Mexico. And you can also see the excellent equatorial alpha, which is storm basically feeding off the intertropical inversion zone, which is pretty common for very powerful eastern Pacific hurricanes. Even though wind is quite not at that level yet. Wind is quite not, but the storm has a chance to get there if the system can keep the dry air out. You can see here on visible satellite. You can see here on this visible RGB set floater. You can see some dry air getting mixed into its core, but it's also done a better job. This was also first of all predicted by the H-Worth model yesterday, and second of all, doing a better job than I personally anticipated. And you can see this on Blackboard. You can see a really nice mostly black CDO. That's kind of typical of what you'd kind of expect of a Category 2 hurricane. And would not surprise me if we see the black numbers rise when the relevant fixes come out within the top of the hour or so, by the top of the hour. As you can see, Storm Road is much more CDO dominant, as I mentioned earlier. But I mean, I'm a little skeptical to give. It's kind of a little bit hard to give a exact estimate until we know how organized or how not organized the actual eye wall is. Let me look if they've got any microwave passes since. Look. Yeah, I can see it misses the core there. That does hint at maybe some good organization just based on that partial pass, but there's nothing to really infer here. From an ATMS pass, it's not very conclusive. And yeah, those are all the recent microwave passes. And there's nothing definitive. There were some hints from as I just mentioned, some hints from the GMI pass that we could see a little bit of a developed inner core, but it barely just missed the system. But regardless, it's going to be kind of interesting to see how this hurricane evolves over the next several days, honestly. I mean, the ship's output, at least according to the ship's output, is actually showing significantly less wind shear than they were showing yesterday. I can look on that briefly later, but I can look on, see if the GFS is explicitly showing it, to see what the GFS is explicitly showing with its relevant storm track. But you can see the sea surface temperatures are likely to remain at least relatively supportive of a stronger hurricane for another 36 to 60 hours. As the wind shear is going to be quite low, but it's also going to be westerly in nature, so I'm not sure that's probably not the most conducive to becoming an annular hurricane, though I will point out, I'll touch back on that in a bit. And then furthermore, so the window of opportunity kind of does exist, given the confidence is increasing, and we've seen this observed in real time as well, that wind shears, you can see Right here, you can see the upper level anticyclone moving away. This seems embedded. If anything, it seems it seems mostly embedded near a coal region and be enhanced by an upward trough. Maybe it would just an upward trough that's providing enough ventilation, enough helping combining the excellent equatorial outflow to provide enough divergence aloft for the system to try and fight off the current, what little wind shear there is remaining. As conditions have improved, as environmental conditions have improved, the system have gradually improved over time. And it's likely to continue to do so, and as a result, the only real reason that's preventing Linda from recently anticipating that Linda will become a major hurricane is the presence of dry air that the solar system has still repeatedly been mixing through, as I had to mix through, and it's possible at a certain point the inner core to be completely susceptible to dry air, and the storm will be probably develop a larger eye and thus be unable to intensify much. But even then, the system doesn't even need to intensify at a particularly brisk pace with about 36 to 60 hours of favorable conditions left. So, and if we were to assume even conservatively a size estimate T 4.0, if we assume 1 T number per day for a day and a half, it brings us to T 5.5 or 100 knots. In about 36 hours, which is when sea surface temperatures really start to drop below 27.5 C, but it could probably still support a fairly strong hurricane through 60 hours. Put a fair. I'm gonna take a look at the GFS shear-wise. It's also worth noting that one thing I'm going to talk about later is this is a southward dip. Let's try and see if I can take a crack at the shear environment. Actually, I probably didn't pick the best location for it. I can find I can't adequately find this. I'm not going to find this quickly. You can see the 200. Oh, shit. Alright, but yeah, you can see, the two. You can see, they're initially 34 knots, which I don't think I'm actually recognizing. The shear right. May not be recognizing. I mean, unless it's substantially different. I can't. I don't think I'm able to. This is not working. So the lowest wind shear minimum seen is 30 knots, and the overall setup does not look terribly different from the 12 or even like yesterday's 0-0. So I'm probably just repeatedly missing the same points. I'm gonna try once more. I mean, you can see, even looking at this, you can see the upper levels are actually fairly light. So the wind shear is likely, the system is likely to be fairly light, at least aloft, and I'm not really seeing any structural signs of any mid-level shear anytime soon. So I think my original interpretation of implied by the ship's output is probably at least matches up with the current 18Z GFS run. But anyway, what I was going to talk about is what the global models are doing in a few days. Because there's actually, it's worth noting that, it's also worth noting, I was going to mention this in a few days, the global models seem to want to turn us into an annular hurricane. It's going to be something to keep an eye on if the system gets stronger than anticipated. I mean, the GFS kind of keeps us alive as a very long track hurricane over the next several days, despite moving over some relatively cold waters, which you can see. But I will, and as a result, after 60 hours, seashore temperatures on its track is forecast to dip below 26°C, 26 degrees Celsius. But it's worth noting now that the European model is dipping the system back to the south to around 16 to 17 degrees north. And if the system actually goes that far south, the National Hurricane Center track keeps it a little bit further north, but the system goes that far south, we could see a page where the system even stops weakening, even re-intensifies after starting for a day or so after undergoing a weakening trend for a few days. That's another thing to keep an eye on. However, nevertheless, the European probably still keep the system developed at a really unrealistic rate. As they're bringing a very strong hurricane, at least a relatively potent, formidable system at least, as far north as to 20 to 25 degrees north, between 140 and 150 degrees west. And that's in seashore temperatures in the 23 to 24 C area, which can probably barely support deep convection. Certainly can't support convection needed for a full-blown hurricane to occur. And then one more thing is that there have been some hints. You can see at the end of this one at some additional activity next in about 10 days or so. The pattern over the basin is supposed to be a little bit more. There's going to be a break for a bit after August 16th, but then towards the end of the month, this is forecast to again become a little bit more favorable, and then once again become more favorable sometime in September. So it's something to keep an eye on. An eye on if the EPS mean is anything to talk about. Of course, the GFS mean is showing a more aggressive, more of an 80s style, keeping too much rising motion over Central America, Far East, and Pacific. And of course, the GFS has been off and on showing activity in the long range as a result. Not sure what the 18Z has. The 18Z doesn't have anything, but I think yesterday's 18Z GFS, for example, had a couple more hurricanes forming in the basin. So it's something to keep an eye on, the fact that we could see activity we'll see a little bit more activity than I was previously explicitly anticipating in past views towards the second half of August, because the overall environmental potential vorticity setup is looking a little bit more favorable. But GFS will likely continue to be overly aggressive with this as well. And I think any depictions that you will see in future runs of possible strong hurricanes are probably overdone. In the meantime, the main focus is on Hurricane Linda, which does have a chance, I think it's probably a 50-50 proposition where the storm's going to, maybe like 60-40 at this point, where this can actually intensify to a full-blown Category 3 or 4 hurricane actually starts to clear out. Now, which I think it may make a more serious attempt at it in about 6 to 12 hours, or where the system's going to kind of continue to remain somewhat ugly and not really intensify substantially, and you would peak as a high in Category 1, a low in Category 2. Anyhow, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys learned something.